the home of the Berwick Bulldogs. This is WHLM AM, W282CO Bloomsburg, W234BH West Hazelton, W242CY Berwick, and W288CF Danville. Pop Radio, a Seven Mountains Media radio station. Just 1 hour before kickoff, it's time for the Coach Bennett Show on Pop Radio. A conversation with Berwick Bulldogs head coach Mike Bennett and the voice of the Dogs, Jim Doyle. Brought to you by First Columbia Bank and Trust. With you every step of the way. Welsh's Towing and Repair, towing, recovery, and lockout services. Axis Gymnastics Academy in Bloomsburg. Independence Ford, Rattle 11 in Bloomsburg. S.J. Kowalski Heating and Cooling, the way the earth intended. First Keystone Community Bank. Yesterday's traditions, tomorrow's visions. Mason's Monogram Service for all your Bulldog merchandise. Robert G. Dent Heating and Air Conditioning in Light Street. Red's Roofing, the Roofing Ninjas in Berwick. Lehigh Valley Health Network, the region's leader in orthopedic and sports medicine. The Mayo Funeral Homes of Berwick and Chickshinny. And by Wagner's Trophies and Engravables. Main Street in Bloomsburg.
Well, tonight the Bulldogs face arguably their biggest challenge of the season, taking on unbeaten Dallas here at Crispin Field. Dallas coming off a convincing 42-20 win over previously unbeaten Hazelton area. At Spartan Stadium in Kingston, the Bulldogs routed Wyoming Valley West 41-20 to even their record at 3-3. Mike, always nice to get your team off to a great start in the game, and you certainly did last Friday. Your team's offense scored on their first 4 possessions. 5 plays was the longest of the 4 possessions. You had to be thrilled with that start.
Oh yeah, coming off the past week with Wilkes-Barre, it was driven into the kids that we could come out fast, we could come out physical, a little bit more physical than we were the previous week, and that's what the kids did. I mean, these kids, anytime we challenge these kids, in practice and in the game, they rise to the occasion. So it was great to see, our playmakers going out there and making a couple plays here where like you said, our guys get 5 yards. We have the mantra now. It's a 1-game season for us, so every game is important, and we kind of back it up, So, every half is important. Every quarter then becomes important. Every series become important, and then, the last one, every play is important. And that's what I think these kids did last night. Well, again, Ethan's just he's another playmaker that we have. Obviously we have Matt at the quarterback, but we felt that we can get some good looks, and some good things scheme-wise with Ethan back there. Teams can't just go, well, number 3's in, he's going to...
His 37-yard run set it up. How fast is he?
I tell you what, he's pretty fast, but man, that number 4 on Valley West, he caught 2 of our guys, and we were joking around with him. But yeah, he's pretty fast, Jim, and he can scoop.
Well, your offensive line obviously did the job. We talk about this every week, but that enabled you to do a number of different things offensively.
Yeah, when our offensive line is clicking, we can do a lot of different things. In the past, the past couple of seasons where we might have been lacking in a position here or there, we really couldn't get our full offense out there and shown. But this year, obviously it's been a concerted effort to get our guys going, and they really bought in, and our offensive line played well.
Well, up next, Mike will evaluate his team's defensive effort against Wyoming Valley West. You're listening to the Coach Bennett Show on Pop Radio.
When you think of Wagner's Trophies and Engravables, you may only think of trophies, but we're much, much more than that.
We can take care of your wedding gift ideas or gifts for your graduate.
T-shirts and commemorative gifts for your company picnic or family reunion.
Unique gifts, personalized to your every need.
So when you think gifts, think of Wagner's Trophies and Engravables in downtown Bloomsburg. Online at wagnerstrophies.com.
As a community bank, First Columbia Bank and Trust knows the value of helping our young people dream, excel, and reach their goals. For more than 120 years, First Columbia has been committed to helping our communities prosper and our youth succeed. We're proud to invest in our youth through athletics, the arts, and education. First Columbia Bank and Trust, with you and your children every step of the way.
Every step of the way, First Columbia Bank.
Hi, this is Cassidy from the Independence Ford Service Department, Route 11 in Bloomsburg. Does your Ford or Lincoln vehicle need service? Having trouble getting an appointment at your usual service center? At Independence Ford, we can and will take care of all your service needs. Regardless of where you purchase your Ford or Lincoln vehicle, our goal is to get you back on the road. Give me a call for an appointment today at 784-1414.
Come and get a great deal and total satisfaction.
Independence Ford, better people, better prices.
Has a sports injury got you down? No one knows sports medicine like Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. Their unrivaled sports team has the highest orthopedic success rates in the region. With more than 30 years of experience, they put athletes first and provide same-day appointments. Don't let a sports injury slow you down. Learn more at lvhn.org/ortho or call 833-LV-ORTHO.
You are listening to the Coach Bennett Show on Pop Radio with the voice of the Berwick Bulldogs, Jim Doyle.
Weekend number 7 of high school football's 10-week regular season kicks off tonight. Here at Crispin Field, the Bulldogs face the unbeaten Mountaineers of Dallas. Dogs coming off a convincing 41-13 win over Wyoming Valley West last Friday night in Kingston. As dominant as Berwick was on offense, it was even more so on defense. First line defense completely shut down the Spartans. Mike, we talked about your offensive line's dominance. Your defensive line was just as good, wasn't it?
Yeah, they were. And truth be told, against Wilkes-Barre, we didn't play that well. Okay, so the challenge of the week was our D-line, to play better. Okay, and obviously they played worlds better. I mean, Liam Kerr was in there, just taking on double teams and splitting them. Alex Hack and Rose Slabinski would not let anything outside. And if they dare try to get through, that line, we had, Spencer, we had Tristan English. I mean, we had Jimmy Dandra on that back line of linebackers just filling gaps and making plays.
Not only did your starting defense shut out the Spartans, but they got a score when Rowan Slabinski returned an interception for a touchdown in the second quarter. He wasn't prominent defensively early in the season. More and more he is. He's added a lot to the defensive front, hasn't he?
He's added a lot to the defensive front. I mean, this is a kid that played corner for us last year, spent his time in the offseason in the weight room, worked his butt off, worked his tail off, and everything that you see on the field right now from Rowan, he has earned. I mean, he plays both ways for us, and right now he's playing pretty good defensive end.
Well, one of the low points to Friday's win was the injury to Alex Hacker. As we speak, we still don't know. If he's not able to go tonight, who has to pick up the pace?
Well, obviously, who has to pick up the pace is, the whole defensive team. Okay, we're gonna lose one of our leaders. One of our captains who graded out very well this week. So, we have Chase Struthers who's going to be put in there. Harrison Sunder might bump back out to DN where he played the first couple games. We have Aiden Wiest might play a little bit in there. So we're going to have some guys that can play there, but whoever we play there is going to have a huge shoes to fill.
One of the low points of the game was that wild altercation that took place on a kickoff in the second half. I didn't get a chance to see it because I was following the kick return, which is far away from where that all started. What precipitated it?
I think it was a bunch of. I think it was a bunch of things. I think it was brewing throughout the whole game. And I feel that, first of all, there are no excuses. That should never have happened. Our kids are better than that. I feel that they got baited a little bit into what they were doing. But even saying that, our kids have to know. They have to keep their heads. Even when playing a team that's, hasn't have a win, and they're going to try and do anything to get in our heads. They can't allow that to happen. So one of our kids one of our guys, lost his cool, lost his emotion, which, in video, okay, he had a couple late hits on him throughout the game, and he just had that lost temper in that one moment, and I hope this is a lesson learned for him.
Yeah, I guess a big concern, besides the fact that somebody can get hurt in those altercations, is the fact that if it goes too far, you get other ejections, you lose some players, and you're playing a game tonight where you need all hands on deck.
Listen, this game tonight, we're fortunate enough where we're at right now, but you're right, things took a turn for the worst, and anywhere, our kids could have retaliated, okay, done something stupid when one of our kids, did, but I'm glad to see cooler heads prevailed on that sideline afterwards.
Unbeaten Dallas is the opponent tonight here at Crispin Field. Later in the show, Mike will tell us why the Mountaineers are so good. But up next, it's the Bulldog Spotlight feature. You're listening to the Coach Bennett Show on Pop Radio.
Mason's Monogramming has the largest selection of Bulldog items in Berwick. Family owned with more than 30 years experience and new Bulldog wear for every age, including masks, tees, polos, sweater shirts, jackets, and hats. They even have brand new indestructible silicone cups, koozies, car coasters, decals, and more. Shop at masonsmonogram.com for their new items and select in-person pickup or shipping right to you. Follow their Instagram at Mason's Monogram for their latest new items. Mason's Monogram Service in Berwick. Let them personalize for you.
If you have a child that's interested in gymnastics, or if you've been practicing the sport for years, then Access Gymnastics Academy is where you want to be. Their dedicated coaches will teach you everything you need to know to perform your best, from the basics of flexibility, form, and style to advanced techniques that will improve your rhythm and style during a routine. Call Heidi Rebuck at Access Gymnastics Academy at 570-441-5969. That's 570-441-5969. Now enrolling for beginner to advanced classes at 917 East 7th Street in Bloomsburg.
Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick. The roofing experts for all of our listening area. With over 30 years experience and great rates, why go anywhere else when Red's Roofing will get the job done right for your roofing, decks, and siding, specializing in metal roofs, rubber roofs, and shingles. Most of the work is done in one day. Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas. Now located in Dushore and also serving Bradford and Sullivan counties with owner Harry Titus, a supporter of the Berwick football team and St. Jude Children's Hospital. Call 570-752-4351.
Digging deeper to make ends meet? Now you can get a 26% tax credit with a geothermal heat pump system from Climate Master. Climate Master geothermal systems tap the constant temperature of the earth to provide heating, cooling, and hot water while keeping your home comfortable all year long. And Climate Master systems are so efficient, you'll save up to 70% on your energy bill. The investment in a Climate Master system quickly pays for itself. Contact your local Climate Master dealer, Robert G. Dent Heating and Air Conditioning in Light Street. Go to robertgdentheating-ac.com.
You are listening to the Coach Bennett Show on Pop Radio with the voice of the Berwick Bulldogs, Jim Doyle.
The Bulldogs have moved up to 5th place in the latest District 2 Quad A power rankings for the playoffs, which kick off 4 weeks from tonight. Tonight's opponent, unbeaten Dallas, is first in those rankings. In our next segment, Mike will tell us about the Mountaineers, but now it's time for our weekly feature Bulldog Spotlight. Tonight, the spotlight is on sophomore Bo Sheptog. Bo's just a sophomore, listed at 5'10", 168 pounds. Coming into tonight's game, he's Berwick's leading rusher, third leading receiver, leading tackler from his safety position, kick returner, punt returner at a 44-yard touchdown against Wyoming Valley West. Like he's all football player, isn't he?
Yes, he is. I mean, I'm so glad, that we have Bo Sheptog. I mean, we have the guys, we have the seniors' names, and we know who they are, that make all the plays. We have Spencer Kirschball, Dre Wilk, Matt Lonzinski, Alex Hacker, Rowan Slabinski. We have all these seniors, but right in there is Bo Sheptog. And make no mistake, okay, he could be our number one at anywhere that we put him. I mean, he does what he needs to do. He's a smart football player. He's a tough football player. Pound for pound in the weight room, he is our strongest kid. And so that's great to see.
Well, he got some carries last year, but he's more prominent as a running back this season. Tell us what you consider his strength to be as a running back.
He has great vision, okay, as a running back. We like to get him in there, a little bit of zone plays, a little bit of gap scheme in there. But he just has that feel. He has that vision. When he sees a hole open there, he hits it. And he has another gear when he gets in there. But we're talking about what he did. With that one of his punt returns where we got caught by number 4. But he has some speed. He has deceptive speed. But I tell you what, he is an outstanding football player for us.
And as a receiver, he helps you as well, not just receiving out of the backfield from his running back position, but you've put him in a slot as well.
Well, he's in the slot. I mean, he's in there for a reason, okay? Now, I don't know where defenses are going to go when they look at, they see Wilk, Kishball, Spencer, and then they see Bo. So they can't really, if they wanted to double team somebody else, so one of those guys is going to be open. So if they want to double team our seniors in Wilk and Kishball, Bo usually gets one-on-one coverage, and we can get the ball out to Bo real quick. He can make something happen.
What are his strengths as a safety on defense?
His strength as safety, man, he has a nose for the ball. You know, he's always around the ball. He's very smart, okay? So he knows what plays are coming before they come out there. Obviously, his dad, you know, Coach Sheptog's our defensive coordinator, goes over probably a lot of stuff at the house with him. But, man, I tell you what, Bo just knows football. He loves football. He grinds football. And we are just a better football team with him out there.
His tangibles, strength, speed.
No, it's probably both. I mean, he has that like that combination of, you know, weight room strength. He's a strong kid, and you can see it in him. You know, he has that deceptive speed. I mean, when he gets out there, he can drag somebody back. If they're going to run away from him on defense, he can go make a tackle downfield, okay? Or he can take a speed sweep that doesn't look like much. All right, and he can get 12, 15 yards. So, he does a great job for us.
Well, fortunately, you have him for a couple more seasons, but eventually he'll probably like to play college football. Where could you see him playing? What position?
I'm being honest, man. As of right now, I really think it's going to be in the defensive backfield. But, man, I'll tell you what, you know, he has 2 more years. So if he gets a little bit taller, you know, he gets a little bit bigger, he could be a heck of a running back.
In the Bulldog Spotlight, sophomore Bo Sheptog. Tonight, Bo and his Bulldog teammates take on unbeaten Dallas here at Crispin Field. Up next, Mike will tell us about the Mountaineers' high-scoring offense. You're listening to the Coach Bennett Show on Pop Radio.
Family tradition is the foundation of Nespoli Jewelers, a family tradition started by Joseph Nespoli and continued by his grandson Jonathan. For 3 generations, Nespoli Jewelers have prided themselves on mixing fine with fashion. Jonathan can customize your engagement ring and wedding bands, design a unique piece of jewelry inspired by you, or simply help you find an affordable gift. Service, quality, creativity. Nespoli Jewelers. Yesterday's principles, today's creations. East Front Street in Berwick and online at nespolijewelers.com.
Welch's Towing and Repair proudly supports the Berwick Bulldogs and wishes them a successful year. Welch's Towing and Repair has a long tradition of helping. You can call Welch's 24/7 at 759-9737 if you are in need of a tow, jumpstart, tire change, are locked out, or to request them on scene if you're in an accident. Welch's accepts all major insurance and motor clubs, and they offer all types of preventive maintenance and state inspections for cars, trucks, and motorcycles. Welch's Towing and Repair, South Mercer Street in Berwick, and at their South Center Storage Facility, Columbia Boulevard in Berwick.
It won't be long before tax time rolls around, so remember to visit Michael Daddio CPA at ND Accounting and Consulting for your income tax needs. ND Accounting and Consulting handles both business and individual taxes, as well as offering a variety of accounting services, including payroll, auditing, and bookkeeping. For tax and accounting services, look for Michael Daddio CPA at ND Accounting and Consulting with 2 locations, 214 Pine Street in Berwick and 5929 Main Road in Sweet Valley.
When you're planning your next big event, weddings, concerts, church festivals, even construction sites, remember Preferred Portables has you covered. Preferred Portables offers a luxury restroom trailer that even has hot water. Have no power? No problem. They can provide a generator to keep the lights on. Preferred Portables can provide sanitary service to campgrounds, carnivals, parks, parties, and even has an emergency service 24 hours a day. Contact Preferred Portables to learn about event and contractor pricing. Email preferredportables@gmail.com. Go Berwick Bulldogs!
You are listening to the Coach Bennett Show on Pop Radio with the voice of the Berwick Bulldogs, Jim Doyle.
Tonight marks the 26th meeting between Berwick and Dallas. Berwick leads the series 16-9, but Dallas has won 5 straight, including a 27-0 win last season at Mountaineer Stadium. This season, Dallas is 6-0, and the Mountaineers have been an offensive juggernaut, averaging 41.5 points a game. They are exceptional at running the football. As a team, they average over 8 yards a carry. Their senior running back, Parker Balesta, has already gone over 1,000 yards for the season. Mike, what makes them such a good running team?
Okay, what you see is what you get from Dallas. You know, they're not going to give you many formations. You know, I know we like to give out a lot of formations, but run kind of the same concepts. But Dallas is unlike a lot of these teams that we play, where you might get 3, maybe 4 max different formations. And they're not going to run a lot of stuff off it. You know, they're going to run ISO. They're going to run dive. They're going to run kick out. They're going to run counter. They're going to run screen. But what makes these guys so good is, man, they are very well coached, and you can tell. Okay, with that less of plays, with that less of formations, they just rep these things over and over and over again, where they can run it in their sleep. They can run against any defense, and they feel confident in doing it.
Parker Balesta averages over 200 yards a game rushing. Describe him.
Okay. Well, I would think my description of him is a hammer. Okay, 6'1", about 205. Okay, he's always been that way for Dallas, but man, he's one of those throwback tailbacks. You know, he has great speed, but man, he looks for contact, and he's not going down on the first hit. We better make sure that we gang tackle number 2, because if we don't, Balesta's going to have another great day against us.
They are not a one-dimensional offense. Sophomore quarterback Brady Zapoticki, whose brother Ryan was a terrific quarterback in the past for Dallas. Brady has some impressive numbers this year. What about him?
Yeah, I tell you what works for them is, you know, they run the ball so well. Other teams try and get their safeties in the box, corner trying to come up, and they will play action you off of that. So if you're not ready on, you know, your back half of the defense, you might be screaming up for an ISO play, but there goes, okay, there are 2 receivers behind you on a double post route, all right? Or if your eyes get in the backfield too much, they're going to run a post corner out there. But see, he even though he's a sophomore, he's very accurate, okay? He has great pocket poise, too. So we better come running to play.
You don't put up the rushing numbers that Dallas has put up without a solid offensive line. And I've talked to some opposing coaches this year, and when they mention Dallas, they start with that group. Must be pretty good.
I mean, yes. I mean, like I said, this is what we want to do, okay, as a program with our offensive line. Dallas is already there, okay, and it's across the board. I can't pinpoint, you know, well, the center's the best one or the left guard is. No, their whole line plays well, and you can tell that they developed with each other throughout the offseason, throughout these years, okay, in the Dallas program. So you can tell that they're coached great, and there's a great no nonsense. They're going to go out and they're going to do their job, and guess what? They're going to huddle. They're going to come out and they're going to do it again.
41.5 points a game. You can't afford them to get their average to be in this game. What does your defense have to do well?
No, well, first of all, we have to play great team defense. I mean, obviously, we know that they're going to run the ball, but we can't just throw every resource at them to stop the run, because the last game, okay, that we played against them last year, they threw the ball the first 3 times, where they were probably a heavier running team, all right? So we have to make sure that we play our assignment, we have our alignment, okay? When they run the ball, obviously when they're going to run to Balesta, we have to make sure we gang tackle him, because he's not going to go down at the first one. If we put a shoulder into him, it ain't going to work, so we have to wrap and tackle.
Dallas is also very strong in defense. Up next, Mike will evaluate that unit. You're listening to the Coach Bennett Show on Pop Radio.
The Mayo Funeral Homes, located at 110 Chestnut Street in Berwick and 77 Main Street in Chickashinny, are proud sponsors of Berwick Bulldog football. The Mayo Funeral Homes, serving all faiths, makes it easier for those you love with pre-arranged funeral counseling, insurance, and pre-financed funerals. Mayo Funeral Homes also offers expert guidance in both traditional and cremation services. Mayo Funeral Homes, perfection in every detail.
Neighbor Fence Company has fencing for where you want it, serving Columbia, Montour, and Luzerne counties. Neighbor Fence provides top-quality residential and commercial fencing, vinyl, chain link, wood, aluminum, and ornamental fencing, plus vinyl railing and specialty products. Neighbor Fence Company, 1140 State Route 239 in Wapwallopen. Call 570-752-4423 or visit them online at neighborfencecompany.com. Neighbor Fence Company is a proud sponsor of local youth athletic teams.
Hi, this is Cassidy from the Independence Ford Service Department, Route 11 in Bloomsburg. Does your Ford or Lincoln vehicle need service? Having trouble getting an appointment at your usual service center? At Independence Ford, we can and will take care of all your service needs. Regardless of where you purchase your Ford or Lincoln vehicle, our goal is to get you back on the road. Give me a call for an appointment today at 784-1414.
Come and get a great deal and total satisfaction.
Independence Ford, better people, better prices.
Digging deeper to make ends meet? Now you can get a 26% tax credit with a geothermal heat pump system from Climate Master. Climate Master geothermal systems tap the constant temperature of the earth to provide heating, cooling, and hot water while keeping your home comfortable all year long. And Climate Master systems are so efficient, you'll save up to 70% on your energy bill. The investment in a Climate Master system quickly pays for itself. Contact your local Climate Master dealer, Robert G. Dent Heating and Air Conditioning in Light Street. Go to robertgdentheating-ac.com.
You are listening to the Coach Bennett Show on Pop Radio with the voice of the Berwick Bulldogs, Jim Doyle.
Tonight here at Crispin Field, the Bulldogs face an unbeaten Dallas team that has run roughshod over its 6 opponents to date. We mentioned in our last segment that the Mountaineers' offense averages over 41 points a game. They're also very strong in defense. The most points they've allowed in any game is 20. And in those games against Williamsport, Hazelton area, most of the opponents' points have come after the outcome had been decided. Mike, what do you see as the strength of this Dallas defense?
I tell you, and that's a great question. And when I see the Dallas defense, I see a very, again, they're greatly coached. I mean, they show a defense that not a lot of teams run in our area. Okay, they have an under front. They run quarters coverage in the back, where not a lot of teams in this district, run. So I think first of all, right there, that's a strength for them. But you're gonna get what you get with them. All right, they're not gonna do anything special. They're not gonna change anything up because they're coming down to Berwick. Okay, they're gonna run their coverage. They're gonna run the same thing. But these guys are assignment sound. Okay, they like to get to the ball. They like to push the offensive line back to make a new line of scrimmage. Okay, their backers will come up and hit. But when they're in pass coverage, they go back and their drops are well. Their quarters coverage a lot of times confuses quarterbacks to not knowing where to go with the ball, or just maybe settling up for a 2 or 3 yard play. So we got to be sound with our play calling.
Sounds like you're not going to trick them. You just have to execute.
No, yeah. Execution is going to be key. With this team. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to trick these guys. These guys have been around the block. They play their style of football. But there are going to be some things out there that we can take advantage of. And when we do, we have to make sure we do it.
In the first show of the season, we talked about how challenging the start of your schedule was with Southern Columbia in the opener and then Valley View on the road in the week. But it doesn't even compare to the end of your schedule. The last 4 opponents starting tonight with Dallas right now have a combined 22-2 record, and those 2 losses were Hazelton area against Dallas and Crestwood against Dallas. I've heard some coaches say that, we want tough games toward the end as we get ready for the playoffs. Well, if that's the case, you'll be more than ready, won't you?
Yeah, I think so. And we talked about this before. Our schedule is a schedule. We get it. But I think we have a team, that loves, the grind of the season. And they loved, how, the start. Now, they didn't like, that we lost it to, but they want to play those games. And just like at the end right here, we want to play this game. This is a game, tonight, that it's going to be, a great game to play on. These guys are going to have some memories. But what we're trying to preach to the kids is this. It's Dallas this week. It's Dallas right now. We're not focusing on what we have to worry about within the next 3 weeks. And we're worried about Dallas. We're worried about starting and finishing strong. We're worried about meeting their physicality and taking it over where we can be physical, getting the ball to our playmakers and having them make plays rather than the other way around.
Should be fun. Mike, thanks for your time and best of luck.
Thank you, Jim.
Listen for another edition of the Coach Bennett Show next Friday as the Bulldogs take on Danville at Ironman Stadium. Stay tuned now for Dallas at Berwick football on Pop Radio.
You've been listening to the Coach Bennett Show, brought to you by First Columbia Bank and Trust. With you every step of the way. Welsh's Towing and Repair, towing, recovery, and lockout services. Axis Gymnastics Academy in Bloomsburg. Independence Ford, Rattle Levin in Bloomsburg. S.J. Kowalski Heating and Cooling, the way the earth intended. First Keystone Community Bank. Yesterday's traditions, tomorrow's visions. Mason's Monogram Service for all your Bulldog merchandise. Robert G. Dent Heating and Air Conditioning in Light Street. Red's Roofing, the Roofing Ninjas in Berwick. Lehigh Valley Health Network, the region's leader in orthopedic and sports medicine. The Mayo Funeral Homes of Berwick and Chickasha. And by Wagner's Trophies and Engravables. Main Street in Bloomsburg.